What's going on, boys and girls? Well, here it is again. Florida week in Tennessee. Man, is this game ever huge? Florida, they come in 3-2. People expecting them to suck this year. And, well, quite frankly, they have in moments sucked. But to me, it's still Florida. It's still a game that we have to win right now, especially given what just happened at Arkansas. Still can't believe that. But look, these games happen. It seems like every year Tennessee loses a game they shouldn't lose or a game that they're not expected to lose. And this certainly falls into that category, the Arkansas game. Tennessee, Florida, this is another game that Tennessee is expected to win and should win. And quite frankly, if you just base it on the talent level, should win comfortably. I know a lot of Tennessee fans, myself included, would love to see Tennessee just obliterate Florida like they did back in 1990. One of my two favorite ever games versus Florida and two of my favorite plays ever against Florida came in that 1990 game. Tied up at it's 7-3 at halftime. Super close ball game. Two high-powered offenses, and in the second half, Tennessee comes out and does this.
Number 80 to the far side of the field. 7-3 Tennessee leads, and this one is going to be taken at the 10-yard line by Morgan. Or Carter, I beg your pardon. Breaks it free, and he may go.
That is my all-time favorite play against Florida. Now, of course, 1998 rolls around. Tennessee gifted some games, if you want to call it that. And one of the games that was not looked at as a game Tennessee was gifted was the Florida game. But for myself, sitting in the stadium that night, watching the game and thinking to myself, man, Florida's just pushing us around. They're going up and down the field, but the turnovers are killing them. Otherwise, Florida might be beating us to death tonight, but that wasn't the case. Al Wilson showed up that night and just kept knocking the ball free from Florida, giving us the ball. And as a result, the game goes into overtime. And of course, this infamous play happened.
From 32 yards, that kick is no good!
Tennessee wins! Or as some remember it, no sirree. No sirree. Final score, blah, 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 blah. Tennessee wins. Pandemonium reigns. And it did rain. And pandemonium was a great way for John Ward to put it. And I'm looking for some more pandemonium this coming Saturday night in Neyland Stadium. I'm going to have several videos this week about this game because this game and the Alabama game are always my two favorite games each year because, in the last 20 years, Tennessee only has a handful of wins against both of these teams combined. We haven't beaten Florida in the swamp. Christ, I had both legs. My daughter was just a little bitty baby. It's been forever since we've beaten them down there. Now, 2 years ago, we got a win up here in Neyland Stadium, which I didn't get to see because I was in the hospital dying. I probably would have been dying watching that game the way it ended, but Tennessee got the win. And I think fans are looking for a more comfortable win this time around But the Arkansas game should give everybody plenty of pause on this game. Here's the way I look at it. It's still Florida. It's still a big game for me, for sure. And it's probably a huge game for them. What a season they could have if they could come to Neyland Stadium and steal a win against Tennessee with that brutal schedule they have. Florida's going to lose a lot of football games this year. Most people are expecting Tennessee to be one of them. Call it jinx, call it BBS, call it whatever you want, but this game always scares me. It just does. If you're a Tennessee fan and you're not telling yourself that, well, first of all, you're young and you don't know the history of this game. Second of all, you might be a little bit, I'm not going to use the R word, but you might not have all of your faculties in order. I fully expect a good game Saturday. I fully expect Florida to come out and fight and punch us in the mouth as much as they can. They've seen the blueprint from these last two games defensively, what to do to slow this offense down. And Tennessee, you got some work to do. Got a lot of work to do this week to get ready for this game. Got a lot of stuff to clean up from that Arkansas game. That was ugly. We left a lot of points on the floor. Nico Iamaleava looked bad, quite frankly, in that game. And I know a lot of the opposing fans are having their fun now saying that Nico sucks and blah, blah, blah. Well, I know better than that. And as a Tennessee fan, you should know better than that. And I hope you do. And I hope this is a game that he finally comes out. Excuse me. Hope this is a game that he finally comes out and shuts all the naysayers up and has a big game. Last year, Graham Mertz had a big game against Tennessee. This Saturday, Nico Iamaleava has a big game. Tennessee wins this game. I'll give you a score later in the week. Right now, I'm not concerned with what the score might be. The only score I want is us to have more points than them at the end of the night. Go Vols, screw y'alls. And before you do that, hug your mom and daddy. Love you, mean it.